Deadpool inadvertently caused a collapse in the multiverse, and now must bring back Wolverine, joining forces with mutants from various realities to repair the timelines. In this recap of the 2024 movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, we see Deadpool seeking Wolverine's help to save his world from destruction. Believing that Logan with his healing abilities might still be alive, Wade digs up his grave but only finds the remains of the mutant's body. While he contemplates his next move, a group of TVA agents arrives to arrest him for crimes against the sacred timeline. Using Wolverine's bones as weapons, Deadpool fights off the agents, but more soon appear through portals. Flashback to months earlier, Wade had decided to turn over a new leaf and join the Avengers to win back his ex-girlfriend, Vanessa. However, he was rejected by Tony Stark's former driver, Happy, for selfish motives. After this rejection, Wade began working at a car dealership with Peter, who knows his true identity. On Wade's birthday, during a party with his friends and Vanessa, TVA agents suddenly arrive and drag him through a portal to their headquarters. There, Wade meets Paradox, who reveals that Wade has been chosen to fulfill a significant purpose. If he agrees to work with the TVA, Deadpool is promised a future spot with the Avengers. However, Deadpool soon learns that his universe will be reset within 72 hours, erasing all his loved ones. Paradox explains that Wolverine's death destabilized the universe, and rather than waiting for its natural end, he plans to destroy it sooner. Faced with a choice between joining the sacred timeline or perishing along with his friends, Deadpool chooses a third option. He attacks Paradox, steals a temp pad, and returns home. Determined to find another Wolverine who can help save his world, Deadpool travels through parallel universes, encountering various versions of Logan. Each version, including one resembling Henry Cavill, tries to kill him. Finally, Wade finds an alcoholic Wolverine who can barely function and brings him to the TVA, hoping to replace the original Wolverine. However, Paradox refuses the substitution. Realizing Paradox is acting without his boss's approval, Deadpool threatens to expose him, leading to a tense standoff. Deadpool quickly neutralizes Wolverine before he can cause any trouble. When the two finally meet, Logan, angry at being taken from his universe against his will and trapped on an unknown planet, lashes out at Deadpool. Wade retaliates by unloading his pistols into Logan's ribs, but Wolverine destroys the guns with his claws, forcing Deadpool to defend himself with his swords. During the intense fight, Wolverine is repeatedly struck and ends up with Deadpool's swords lodged in his body. As Logan prepares to decapitate him, Deadpool convinces him to join forces by suggesting that if they return to TVA headquarters, he can persuade Paradox to restore Wolverine's universe. Their conversation is interrupted by Captain America, but Deadpool's excitement fades when he realizes it's actually Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, not Steve Rogers. Johnny, as the Human Torch, attempts to incinerate his enemies, but Pyro absorbs the flames, leaving Johnny vulnerable and Sabretooth ready to attack him. Just before the battle begins, Deadpool removes his swords from Wolverine, but Logan quickly decapitates Sabretooth. Pyro, unable to capture them, traps Wolverine and Deadpool with a giant magnet, and they are taken to the hideout of Cassandra Nova, the twin sister of Professor X. When Deadpool meets Cassandra, he taunts her with lies about what Johnny said, prompting her to kill Johnny. Cassandra, who was abandoned by her brother, infuriates Wolverine by insulting Charles Xavier. Wolverine attacks but gets trapped in the ground, and Cassandra then invades Deadpool's mind, discovering his heartbreak. Using this distraction, Deadpool enables Wolverine to stab Cassandra, but she easily shrugs off the attack and summons a deadly purple cloud to devour them. The pair escape on a flying device and set their sights on returning to the TVA to kidnap Paradox and force him to fix both universes. Before continuing their mission, they stop at a deserted diner, where Deadpool praises Logan, telling him he's beloved in his world, while Logan confesses that in his universe, he's despised for a terrible mistake. As they continue their journey, Deadpool reveals that the original Wolverine died protecting a girl named Laura, whom he considered his daughter. While walking, they encounter a dog, and Deadpool tries to adopt it, only to find out it belongs to a variant called Nicepool. Nicepool lends them his car to help them reach the border faster. As they drive, Deadpool asks Wolverine what he would change if the TVA could alter the past. Realizing that Deadpool may have misled him about restoring his universe, Wolverine angrily attacks Wade, feeling betrayed. The ensuing fight destroys the car, and their battle continues until they both collapse from exhaustion. They are eventually found by another variant, and after regaining consciousness, Deadpool spots Logan drinking whiskey. Suddenly, they are ambushed by Elektra, who easily takes down Deadpool. Blade, Gambit, and Laura then arrive, with Laura revealing that she recognized Wolverine and decided to rescue them before the TVA could capture them. The young woman, known as X-23, underwent an experiment similar to Wolverine's, where scientists injected her with adamantium. Thanks to Wolverine, she survived the process, and even though she knew this wasn't the same Logan who had saved her, she decided to repay the favor. When Deadpool meets the team, he asks how they ended up there. Elektra explains that their universes were reset by the TVA, who sent them to the Void to prevent them from fighting back. Hearing this, Wade decides to join the team and learns that these people were Johnny's friends. Wolverine then reveals that it was Deadpool's fault that Human Torch was killed by Cassandra, but Wade manages to convince the mutants to help him defeat Professor Xavier's sister. The only way to stop Cassandra is by blocking her powers with Magneto's helmet, but she destroyed it after killing him. Elektra recalls that Juggernaut's helmet can also block Cassandra's powers, but the problem is that Juggernaut works for Cassandra. Deadpool then devises a plan to steal Juggernaut's helmet and convinces the team to join him, though Wolverine is reluctant. Later that night, while drinking by a campfire, Logan is visited by Laura. She tells him that he reminds her of her father, who, despite his flaws, was always there for her. Logan confesses that he wasn't there for his team when they needed him most. Instead of staying at the mansion with his family, he chose to go his own way. One night, while drunk, he returned home to find that humans had killed all his friends. Since then, he's been unable to forgive himself. Laura tells him that she plans to join the team in their fight against Cassandra and asks for his support. The next morning, the team drives to Cassandra's hideout. As they approach, Blade uses a bazooka to blow open the gates, and they storm the enemy base. Although they thought Wolverine wouldn't join them, he suddenly emerges from the trunk, boosting the team's morale. Despite knowing they might not survive, the team fights bravely to give Deadpool and Wolverine a chance to confront Cassandra. When they face her, she easily immobilizes them with her powers and invades Logan's mind, discovering the deep pain he feels for failing those he loved. Meanwhile, Laura fights Juggernaut and, after defeating him, steals his helmet. As she climbs the tower to deliver the helmet to Wolverine, she's pulled back down but manages to throw the backpack with the helmet into the room. Deadpool grabs the helmet and uses it to trap Cassandra while she's vulnerable inside Logan's mind. As they debate what to do with her, Pyro suddenly appears and starts shooting at Cassandra. Wolverine strikes Pyro, then argues with Deadpool about Cassandra's fate. If they leave the helmet on, Cassandra will die, but Logan decides to remove it, sparing her life, knowing it's what Professor Xavier would want. In gratitude, Cassandra agrees to help them return home. She uses a ring she stole from a version of Doctor Strange to open a portal back to Earth 105, where Wade lives. Just then, the deadly cloud Ulth approaches, and Cassandra warns that they only have 4 seconds to escape before being devoured. Deadpool and Wolverine rush through the portal, leaving their friends behind to continue the fight against Cassandra's forces. Cassandra then interrogates Pyro, discovering that he is actually a double agent working for Paradox, who ordered him to kill her. Meanwhile, Paradox, learning that Deadpool and Wolverine have returned to Washington, goes after them, only to be caught off guard by Cassandra's arrival. She invades Paradox's mind and learns that he is building a machine to destroy their universe. Cassandra then decides to use the device to annihilate all universes, leaving only the Void, the world where she reigns supreme. At the same time, Commander B-15 receives word of an unauthorized time event. When the Time Ripper is activated on Earth 105, Cassandra forces Paradox to take her to the machine. She leaves the portal she used to reach Earth open, and Deadpool suddenly spots Mary Poppins coming through it. After picking her up, he sees Nicepool running toward him, followed by an entire army of Deadpools. Wade tries to convince the mercenaries to join him, but instead, they start shooting. Deadpool uses Nicepool's body as a shield, and after hiding behind a vehicle, realizes that his double can't regenerate. Wade promises to take him to the hospital, but to reach safety he has to get past the army of clones, using Nicepool's body as a shield again. Unfortunately, this results in Nicepool's death, and Wade takes his gold-plated pistol, joining Wolverine to fight the enemy army. The two of them wage war against dozens of mercenaries, advancing on the battlefield. They see some enemies hiding in a bus, and without hesitation, they board the vehicle and eliminate everyone inside. However, the bad news is that the Deadpools quickly regenerate and are ready for another round. Just as another battle is about to start, Peter arrives on the scene, and since he is beloved by all the Deadpools, he manages to establish peace. While the gang celebrates Peter's arrival, Wade and Logan rush to the subway, discovering that Cassandra has already begun using the machine. According to Paradox, the only way to stop Cassandra from destroying all alternate realities is to short-circuit the device, which is powered by sources of matter and antimatter. To destroy the machine, a link between the sources must be created, but the person who serves as the bridge will be completely incinerated. Despite the risk, Deadpool and Wolverine decide to continue the mission, though Logan insists on doing it alone. Wade, believing Logan deserves a fresh start, attacks him with a fire extinguisher and pushes him out of the chamber. After locking the doors, Deadpool destroys one of the power sources and tries to pull the power cables to connect them to the other side. However, he can't reach far enough to connect to the antimatter source. Just when it seems all is lost, Wolverine breaks down the door and grabs Wade's hand. Together, they use their bodies as a bridge to exchange energy between the two sources, causing a massive short circuit in the Time Ripper. Meanwhile, their bodies are burned from the inside out, but they manage to survive by sharing the energy overload. The explosion of the machine instantly vaporizes Cassandra, and Earth-105 narrowly avoids destruction. Commander B-15 arrives and questions Paradox about the unauthorized use of the Time Ripper. Paradox claims that Cassandra forced him to build the machine and invaded his mind to learn how to use it. He says that when he realized reality was about to be destroyed, he recruited Deadpool and Wolverine to help fix his mistake, and they sacrificed themselves as heroes to save the universe. However, Paradox is shocked when Deadpool and Wolverine, having survived the explosion, appear to disprove his story. After learning the truth, B-15 orders her guards to take Paradox to TVA headquarters for trial. With the Time Ripper destroyed, the universe begins regenerating, and B-15 congratulates Wade and Logan on their excellent work. Even though Wolverine doesn't belong in that timeline, B-15 allows him to stay, giving him a second chance to rebuild his life. Seeing her generosity, Deadpool asks for her help to rescue his friends trapped in the void, acknowledging that none of this would have been possible without them. After saving the world, Deadpool and Wolverine go out to eat, where Wade reunites with Mary Poppins. Since Nicepool is no longer alive, Wade decides to adopt the dog and take her home with Logan. When they arrive at the apartment, they are greeted by Al, who is thrilled to have two new guests. A few days later, Wade gathers all his new and old friends and tries to reconcile with Vanessa. So, what did you think of this movie? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the recap, be sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.